If your body isn't responding anymore and whatever you do doesn't seem to be working or helping you move forward in your fitness journey and your health journey, then this is the video for you. Hi, my name is Claudia from Claudia's Movement, and I've been working as a coach for over 10 years. I've been working with different ages as well of women, and there are different challenges and benefits that we get to experience and integrate into our lives, no matter what age stage we are in. I am guessing that you are probably somewhere around your 30s, maybe even perimenopause or menopause, and are noticing that the things that you were doing with 20 just aren't working anymore for you. Well, I'm so happy that you're here because this is a science-backed guide for women who actually want results. So if you picked up this guide, I am guessing that you're probably feeling like something has shifted in your body. Maybe you have gained fat in places where you never used to have any. Maybe you're training, but the way that you're training, you're just not seeing any results. Maybe you just feel very bloated and inflamed and you can't explain why. Maybe it's the energy that you're feeling that just isn't constant anymore. It's more inconsistent. You're having drops during the day. Or you just notice that your old routines aren't doing it anymore for you. Perhaps you're even feeling frustrated because you are doing all the damn things. And you're doing everything right, but it's just not moving forward. Well, I'm here to help you with exactly this. All I need is your full attention because in this video and the PDF that I'm providing for you, you will find what you must do differently to lose the fat and build muscle. So, first things first, I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. Let me reassure you, it's probably not you. It's physiology. And it is asking you for an update. So let me give you a little update right here, right now. The thing that is different with women and men is, first of all, we are not small men. We need to stop hearing this. For the love of God. Women's bodies go through different initiations, I want to say, different archetypes, so to speak, as well. And they're not static. They're constantly moving, evolving. So that also means that our hormones, our metabolism, stress tolerance, muscle recovery, and nervous system shift across adulthood. And that's why I said that the methods that probably worked for you when you were in your 20s often stop working when you reach a certain type of age. This can be different for everybody, but usually women notice when they reach 28, 32, 35, 40 plus, 50, that things start shifting and it's small little things. Well, in this guide, I will show you why your body has changed, what your hormones are actually telling you, what to stop doing immediately, how to train and eat for results, and what actually works for fat loss and muscle gain, because there's so much overwhelming information out there. And a lot of people are, of course, also using marketing to sell their things. And maybe they're not working for you. And I will also show you how you can start implementing today. So I want to make this as simple and practical and empowering as I can. So I'm going to be reading off my document, as I already am, to ensure that I do not miss a single thing. First, let's focus on why your body isn't responding in the way it used to. So there are a few physiological changes that affect a woman's body composition, no matter what age you are in. They're not excuses, they're actually biology. So let's talk about the biggest one of them all, cortisol. Cortisol can become your biggest fat loss obstacle. We're talking stress, inflammation. After your mid-20s, you can't just do whatever you want, meaning maybe partying a lot and drinking a lot and not sleeping enough and just doing some sort of training that you've picked up on some YouTube videos and, be okay with it. It's probably not going to give you the results that you want anymore because now your body becomes more sensitive to stress. So let's look at what high cortisol actually does. It creates more belly fat, more inflammation, worsens your sleep, makes it harder for you and your muscles to recover. You get stronger cravings and you start having water retention. Cortisol rises from undereating, overtraining, HIIT overload, that's high intensity training, poor sleep, emotional stress, perfection pressure, and always doing more. Simple reason why is fat loss, which is what we want, cannot happen in a chronically stressed body. Now, before we continue, let me just tell you what the difference between weight loss and fat loss is. You have fat in your body, and then you have muscle in your body. If you want what most women strive for, which is not fat in their body and actually a lean means muscle with not a lot of fat, by the way, a lean body, then what you need to do is lose fat and build muscle. And no, you're not going to get bulky. It takes a lot of work and you need to eat so much in order to actually become bulky. Bulky means big. This is almost impossible for us women unless we really try. So what we're aiming for, again, is fat loss. And this cannot occur if you're under stress because your whole system is going to be trying to fix whatever is keeping you chronically stressed or acute stress instead of helping you do the things that you want it to do. So, what is actually happening? Let me tell you a little bit more about hormones. And this affects you even if you are in your 20s and 30s, please. Okay. Also, everybody's going to reach their 40s and 50s, hopefully. So, we want to learn this. So, we have estrogen in our system, and estrogen helps us build muscle, burn carbs efficiently, recover quickly, and makes us feel energized and motivated. When estrogen drops, we store fat differently. We feel fatigued. The workouts feel harder. Recovery slows down and bloating increases. And this is why, if you reach your 40s and 50s, this becomes really important because you produce less of it. Progesterone is the other hormone that you want to know about. Progesterone, when it drops, your inflammation increases. So, if we don't have a lot of progesterone in our body, we become moody, anxious, we can't sleep properly, fluid retention, PMS starts kicking in, and constant tiredness. So, if you're a woman who still has her period, you might know that progesterone drops in the last bit of your cycle. So, after you've ovulated, which is usually day 14, 15, luteal phase starts until you get your period, and that's when you're feeling more tired, that's when you're sleeping less well, and so on and so forth. And this is because progesterone drops. So this will affect your metabolism and your hunger signals if not controlled. Now, your metabolism responds faster to stress, and your body has also not necessarily been made to look a certain way and always be, it's been made to reproduce, to be healthy enough to be able to bear children, whether you want to have children or not. So a woman's body is also designed, therefore, to protect fertility and not your aesthetic goals. This means that if you eat too little, you'll slow down your metabolism. If you overtrain, you actually might even increase your fat storage. And if you are fasting, this could backfire, actually. It backfires for most women. And also, low carb diets raise your stress hormone, and doing more cardio leads to plateaus. Because again, your metabolism doesn't necessarily just slow down by accident. It adapted to, oh my God, we're getting less of the things that we actually need. But we have to make sure that if we are, for example, fertile, we can still be able to kind of make it happen. So even if you're trying to, for example, get an aesthetic goal, your body will fight against you to ensure, that it can still be fertile if possible. And maybe that will work against your goals. That's not the only reason though. Now, let's move faster. Nervous system. The nervous system is another silent saboteur. We call it the silent saboteur because we basically have no knowledge about the nervous system itself, especially nowadays. So, what is the nervous system? Well, let me make it as simple as possible. But when your body is in constant stress response, we also call that fight or flight. Fat loss, right, is deprioritize, as we said. It has other things to do than making sure that you lose fat. It'll probably want to hold on to the fat because it's fucking stressed and it doesn't know when it's going to get food again. So maybe it even thinks you're in World War II and food is scarce. So signs are that you are on the edge, you recover poor, again, you overthink, you have trouble relaxing, you're like always wired, basically. Again, tired but wired. You have cravings and bloating. And your nervous system is what's communicating to your body and your brain. And if it feels like, again, there is danger, it will make sure that your body knows that. And maybe, therefore, it will activate fight or flight response, whatever you lean more towards. Then the experiences in your life have also shaped you. Maybe you had a very crazy, or maybe you've grown up in a very reactive household where you always had to kind of scan for safety because you didn't know if a bomb would explode otherwise. And that's now how you move through life. If anybody just raises their voice, alarm. If you get an email, maybe that could be of potential importance, alarm. I don't know whether I'm safe. So you've started also scouting and scanning your environment like this for a specific reason. If you're supposed to put yourself outside of a comfort zone, which we want to do, right? Even training is outside of the comfort zone. If we push and weight lift, which I'm going to get to later, your nervous system might be fighting you. And this is why I'm saying that it might be the silent saboteur, because it'll communicate to your brain what's going on. And your brain doesn't care about your goals. It cares about keeping you safe with what it has learned thus far. So this is why your nervous system is also a fat loss tool, not just a mental health tool, because once you become aware of when you have these reactions, these responses to stress, you'll understand why your body is not cooperating, so to speak, with what you actually want, why the things that you were trying to achieve, why you just can't get them done no matter how hard you try. It's because you haven't given this any attention. And don't worry, I'm going to give you some tools, easy peasy lemon squeezy tools that you can apply into your day that can help you start changing how your nervous system communicates. So here is why, again, your old workouts might not be working anymore. The mistakes that almost every woman makes at some point in her life is she does more cardio instead of strength. Even if you go to a gym, you'll see a bunch of cardio machines versus way less strength machines. This is improving now, but this is like the old standard gym, and it's still something that we see a lot. This is something that is, again, slowly changing, but they've believed before, and I want to be very specific when I say this, that cardio is the thing. It is not. What is important is that you have daily movement in, which we used to have. And then the sedentary lifestyle came in, and we're all just sitting and not getting our steps in and have way less activity throughout the day. And that has caused this false premise as well. The second thing that you must know is that gyms have not been made for women. They've been made for men, not for women. So even the plan that you get in a gym isn't the plan applied to a woman at all. That's why it's also not working. Now, the second thing is, again, we have a lot of trends coming up, right? whether it's in food or workouts or whatever. But this trend also was in here for way too long, and it's too much high intensity training or just intensity in general. So seeking the intensity, the workouts that make you sweat, 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 or are so like that your cortisol, your stress just spikes all the time. And if it spikes all the time, again, your body will think it's in danger and it'll do the opposite of what you do, which is storing fat. This is also a thing that I want to mention. If you are somebody who's going to fitness classes, I want you to be mindful of what type of fitness classes you sign up for. Because if you are signing up to fitness classes that are pushing you to a place where you're always breaking a sweat, but you're in a zone. If you look at heart rate zones, we have 1 to 5 usually. That's what we're referring to. If you're in a zone that is 3, 4, you are in constant cortisol creation mode, basically. And that's a problem. And it's the reason why you're not seeing results. You're sweating your ass off in these classes. And of course, they're promising you that this is the way, but it's not. It's marketing. So any class from like F45 to Barry's boot camp, all of that, I want you to be mindful and think of them as things that you hopefully enjoy or use for the social aspect of it all, rather than the reason how to lose the fat and build the muscle, because that's not where it's going to happen. You're just going to spike the cortisol and it can't really get down because you're doing this for like 40, 50 minutes, an hour, and you're just constantly fucking stress responding and sweating and thinking that that's the way, because again, your body is constantly sweating, right? And everybody's telling you, yeah, you're burning calories. Cool, yeah, you're burning calories, but your body is not clocking, understanding that, you know, it's safe and it's not okay for your body to be in there for so long. So this is also a thing that I want you to know. So then the next reason, which is very common as well, is under eating or skipping meals. Not good. Many women do it. We are very sensitive to energy shortages, and your metabolism slows down really fucking fast, again, because it wants to be fertile if it can, or just functioning. Then the other reason is doing the same training all cycle long. Your energy isn't the same every week. Your training shouldn't be either. It can absolutely be the same regimen throughout your cycle, even if you're perimenopause or menopause, but it needs to have a different stimuli at some point. More weights, more this, more that. Then, next to the under eating, it's also the protein. I know protein is being thrown around a lot, but it is very important. And here's why I want to mention this. It's because in our day to day, again, we've been not educated about how important it is to be full of protein, and what we eat outside. Even if you just pick up anything during work that you can eat, it is probably very carbohydrate heavy. And this is an issue because carbohydrates are being transformed to glucose, sugar in your body. And carbohydrates, therefore, are not the enemy, because you do need sugar. It is essential that you have carbs and that you can use that sugar and convert it into something. Like, for example, before training, having carbs is the best idea. Proteins come after to help the muscle that you just broke down. That's what training does. It breaks down the muscle. You rebuild it with recovery. So that's what protein helps you with. It rebuilds the muscle through that, through the protein, what you eat, and then how you recover, sleep, taking a rest, etc., etc. So without enough protein, women will also lose the muscle that they worked so hard to get. So you must make sure that you get enough protein. It'll not lose fat. Fat is the last thing your body will let go of, by the way. And yeah, without muscle, your metabolism will slow down, because muscle burns the most calories, by the way. So it's muscle that you want. The fat loss will slow, the shape will become softer, the strength declines, and the confidence will fall with that as well. So just be mindful of that. So what does actually work after I told you all of the things that are a problem? Well, this is the new strategy that I would recommend you to do. And this is, by the way, the framework that I personally use inside of any of my coachings. I designed this specifically for women's physiology. So I call it the Rebuild Her method. And this is just a quick little intro into what I teach you if you were to work with me personally. So we have different pillars, and the first pillar that I look at is usually smart strength training. I don't want you to work harder, I want you to work smarter. And depending on how much time you have, I would adjust it as the following. Try to train 2 to 4 times a week using, hopefully, body weight, weightlifting. You can use tempo eccentrics, unilateral work, but I want you to focus especially on your posterior chain, which is your back chain. So your back, your glutes, your hamstrings, etc., etc. I want you to work on progressive overload, which is training is meant to be hard. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be hard and push you. And if it's not pushing you, you're not making results. I want you to have push and pull sessions, which is helping you to get stronger in your upper body mainly, and learn how to push things away and pull things away, which are also daily activities that we need in our life. I'd love for women to have simple full body sessions. Simple meaning we don't have to over complicate it and have 300 million exercises in there. Usually four, do the trick, 4 exercises in one session. And I want you to learn how to become better at stabilizing yourself. So stability before intensity, also form before intensity. This builds the female shape or the feminine shape that we want, most of us. The next pillar that I always look at with my people is eating for hormones and not restrictions. I really want to make sure that you women eat enough protein, especially for breakfast. Again, we cannot be skipping meals. We're not men. We have to eat breakfast. It makes such a difference. So eating protein for breakfast, unless you're going for training in the morning, then I would suggest you have more carbs and protein is the way. Then making sure you get 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal, I think is really necessary. You can get there quick if you understand what has protein. Balance your blood sugars is really, really important. So not having cereals and milk that then you will crash, or like just croissants and pastry is really important. Having enough carbs, but the right amount of carbs is really important, because again, you need the sugar, they're your friend, but not too much of it, which is the issue nowadays. Eating enough in general is really important so that you don't undereat. Whole foods as much as possible, not processed bullshit, but I think I don't need to tell you this, but that makes a big difference. And then anti-inflammatory meals, understanding what is maybe highly inflammatory, what I would stay away from, like for example eating a lot of peanuts, eating processed dressings, etc. There's so much there to know. And in general, I don't want your plate to just be protein. I want your plate to look like this. And this is my recommendation. If we look at 4 parts, I would say a part of it is always vegetables for the gut microbiome, for the fiber that it provides, and for, again, the vitamins and all. Then there's protein to keep you satiated, full, and make sure you're stable and you feed your muscles that you worked hard to build. Then carbs, because they're your source of energy, and healthy fats, because healthy fats help us as well. Healthy and not processed one. The last pillar that I usually look at with all women is the nervous system healing. This is what usually really unlocks the fat loss on another level. And we give you tools that you can use in your day-to-day life. They are all around introspection, breath work, movement as well, and also touch, so somatics, and help you raise awareness and then build new evidence for your nervous system to understand that it's not dangerous to change or to even be in a moment of discomfort, that you are allowed to feel the emotions, that you are allowed to feel not always completely comfortable, and that it's not something to run away for or fight. You cannot hustle your way to a regulated, lean, confident body. You must support yourself. And this is what we do in that pillar. That is the short version of what we usually do. There's also a lot of other things that need to be considered, like sleep, supplementation if needed for you, and Of course, if there is trauma that we need to work on, this is a big one too, because again, that will affect your nervous system healing. So, if there's anything that I would recommend you to do right now that you can implement immediately starting today, these are the steps that I would start doing. Start here. Eat a protein-rich breakfast within 60 to 90 minutes of waking. This is going to help you reduce the stress, and you do wake up wired already, especially women, because we are in nurturing positions also. Maybe you are even a caretaker, a mom, or you take care of somebody else. This is really, really important. It's going to help you switch your metabolism on, not off. Make sure you get steps in. Walk daily, maybe listen to podcasts, do whatever it is that you want. But this is your number one thing that I would also do if it comes to just getting movement in. Just start walking. It trains also your bodies in ways you cannot imagine. Please wear smart shoes when walking. I'm going to leave it at that for now. And yeah, it'll balance your nervous system, by the way. So then you need strength training 3 to 4 times a week if you can. You can also do this from home, by the way. You don't need to have a gym. I highly suggest you have a HIIT session, 1, not 5. And that can be a short one. It can literally be like sprints on a treadmill or outside. It can be one movement that you choose and do at home. And if you want to learn how to do HIIT, Google it. Or again, get extra help. And then just do any cardio of your choice. This can be whatever it is that you want, from dancing to spinning to running, all of it as well. But do prioritize strength training and having one HIIT session. And the rest is fun, and you can fill it whenever it fits your schedule. And Pilates also goes into this category. Not that it is cardio, but it doesn't build muscle. It doesn't. Please believe me when I say this. Focus always on form, because form will make everything better. It'll give you better quality of reps. And more quality of reps means, you know it, a bigger impact into your body's composition. Work on tempo or with tempo. Work on your glutes, on your posterior chain in general. Have one short HIIT session, and again, the rest, whatever brings you joy. Then make sure you control your stress responses. Here are a few little tips that I just want to give you right now. You can always focus on your breath, because usually when you're stressed, you're breathing very shallowishly, only until your chest. And you want to bring the breath down. Usually when you focus on slowing down your exhalations, breathing in into your belly, and slowing down your exhalations, this will already calm your nervous system. And what I love to do, maybe you've noticed already, I'm not exhaling like I am a balloon that just been peaked and just let everything out. I'm taking my time with it. I'm imagining I have a straw, for example, that I'm blowing the air out of. Another great tool that you can do, and it's really simple, it's shaking, rebounding. Rebounding is on a trampoline, for example, but shaking, just 1 minute of just like shaking your body can help stored emotions to move again. Emotion, energy, and motion. Let the energy be in motion. Short grounding, literally taking off your shoes, going out, touch some grass. Best thing you can do. Hug a tree, yes, works. You give your energy to the field, to the floor, to the earth, to the tree. It's a thing. And then again, focus on stress responses with somatic releases, self-touch, co-regulation. Go hug somebody. Does a lot. There's, of course, way more than that. And please focus on your protein, because nowadays it's really a problem. This alone will change how your appetite is going to be. Your cravings will 100% reduce. Your hormones will be super happy. Your muscles will be happy, and fat loss will be activated. But yeah, start with one step, then stack another. And this is when you need support. I want you to understand again that it's not your fault, but if you do need guidance with any of these things, I'm here for you. If your body has stopped responding, if you feel constantly inflamed or puffy, whether that's in your face or in your body, around your belly, or even check your lymph system, like if you don't have an actual armpit, if your legs are up, puffy, if you gain fat easily, you're super stressed and overwhelmed all the time, you're confused about what to eat, you struggle with consistency, you've tried many things with little success, your confidence took a hit or two, you want results but feel stuck, or you can't tell what's hormone, stress, or habits, then know that this is normal. Many women go through it, and here's the good news, it's solvable. And you're not meant to do this alone. You can get yourself help, and I highly recommend you do, because this is how you succeed so much faster. So this is my invitation to know this. If this guide has opened your eyes, imagine what happens when we personalize it. So I'm offering you a 15-minute free call where you understand what your body is doing. We find the number one blocker stopping your fat loss, identify what needs to change, and see if a mentorship, any of my coaching services, is the deeper support for you. This is not a sales call though. It's really just here to help you figure out what your goal truly is and what is blocking you from it. Because I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel strong, lean, energized, and in control of your body again. And this is where it begins, getting help. So right here in this document, you will find the link to book your free 15-minute reset call. We can talk, or you can just DM me the word ready on Instagram, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, your body isn't broken. It just needs the right method and some help, and you're going to be back on track and never needing help again. And that's the goal of this all, isn't it? Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, as you know, you can reach me.